Hi team, it's Kate from the Fold Line and I'm back this week with our pattern picks for November. So it's very cold here, you know I'm British and I love to talk about the weather. It is freezing, so I've retreated upstairs where it's a bit warmer. I have a cup of tea with me to keep me warm, so I'm going to be slurping that throughout the video. So I'm going to talk to you guys about the new pattern releases for November. They've actually been quite a lot. It's a lot more than I thought it would be. I thought everyone would be on the kind of slow down to Christmas, but because everyone is releasing patterns all over the world, it's at different points in the year, and some people are releasing summer dresses, and all I can think about is putting on loads and loads of clothes because it's freezing. So I'm going to start off. I've got my laptop here so I can just remember what I'm doing, and I'm going to start with what I'm wearing. So tonight, as in Saturday night, because I'm filming this a couple of days before, is our Christmas party, our kind of office Christmas party. So we've organised a little thing to say thank you to everyone who's helped us throughout the year, and obviously I have to wear a party dress. And as I have described in the last, well, if you'd watched my trends video, you will have seen that I had promised to make the style arc dress. So I started to make that and tried it on, and I tried to fit it, and it looked bloody awful. That's the only way I could describe it. I tweaked it and tweaked it and tweaked it, and I just ended up giving up. So what I have done, which anyone who hasn't made a party outfit yet, this is genius if you want to look a little bit less dressed up. So it ties in with my first pattern, which is the Cleo pinafore dress from Tilly and the Buttons. Look at it. I made it in sparkles. So this is not the right top to wear with it, but yeah. So yeah, sequins. Went for a sort of, I sort of tweaked it a little bit. So there's a seam down the front of the pattern. I removed that because I was a bit worried with the sequins, the seams would be bulky. So I removed that, and I decided not to have the little buckles. I put them on and they looked a bit, I looked a bit like a jazz musician, so I decided to scrap that. But in terms of the pattern, I mean, I think this might be my new wardrobe staple. It took me 3 hours to make, tick, fit absolutely perfect. I did a size 4, which I think is probably about the size 12, fitted like a glove. Literally nothing negative to say about this pattern. I think it's a cracker. There are two options, so you can make it in a shorter and a longer version, and I've done the shorter one where it's just straight across the bottom. I'm actually wearing my jeans underneath this because I'm so cold. And the other one, the other version, you can, it's slightly longer and it's got a split up the front, and then there's optional pockets which are just on the hip. So I'm quite hippie, and I think if you do have bigger hips, I think it's probably not going to suit your shape, and I'd probably recommend going for the shorter one. I tried on, Rachel's made the longer version, and I tried that on, and it kind of accentuated my hips rather than hid them, which is what I tend to do. But yeah, this is a really, really good pattern. I mean, she always does great patterns, but this one I think is particularly great. And if you are interested in doing it, if you go onto Instagram and look at the hashtag #SewingCleo, you will see that, I mean, loads of people have made them, all different shapes and sizes, so it's a real goodie. So buy it, everyone, I recommend it. Right, up next on my list, so because I'm cold, I'm only thinking about warm clothes at the moment, and I guess I usually talk about dresses and sort of more dressy up things, and I thought this pattern was great. It's the Josie hoodie from Style Arc. I just really like the shape of it. It's slightly more fitted, and which I prefer in a sort of bigger hoodie. It's got raglan sleeves, it's got a really nice interesting detail around the hood, so the neck sort of comes up slightly higher and tucks down, which is really nice. It's got a drawstring at the bottom, and the bottom of the hem is slightly curved, so it's sort of, I think it's probably a more flattering shape for most people, but it's a really nice one, and I think you know, if you've got some sort of sweatshirt that you don't know what to do with, I think this would be a really good thing to do for winter. And also, if you haven't made someone a present yet, I think it wouldn't take you too long to make. I'm just looking at it while I'm talking to you. It wouldn't take you too long to make, and I really think it is a cracker. So I'm just going to put my jumper on. Please excuse me, I'm freezing, and I'm going to look slightly mad with my sparkly, my sparkles and my woolly jumper. Right, so up next we have got, oh, this is another wintry one, the bamboo coat from Waffle Patterns. So if you're going to buy a coat this season, I think, or coat pattern, I think this might be the one to buy because you get so much for your money. There are two options. So you have it's quite a classic tailored coat. It's got, yeah, there's not a lot of fit. I'm just looking at the pockets, the welt pockets. Down the front, it's got encased buttons, so they're sort of hidden so you can't see them, which I actually don't like that much. I prefer seeing a button, but I think, you know, you can change it and do it however you like, really. But it's a really nice shape. It's not too fitted, so easier in terms of that. But I just think it's like a real classic and definitely worth looking into. And the other option is, I'm just going to scroll along so I can make sure, it's a collarless cropped sleeve jacket. So the same length, actually no, it's a little bit shorter, but it's perfect if you want to make a coat for winter and then have something for summer, or like the British spring, which is basically ice cold. Yeah, it's a really nice shape, and I think it could be a good one. And the pockets on the one without the collar are straight across, so they're quite a nice little detail, and I think you could definitely do some interesting things with fabrics on that one. So that one definitely gets a thumbs up from me. Yeah, I haven't made a waffle pattern yet. Has anyone else? I mean, she's done some really interesting shapes before, and I just haven't, you know how it is where you have a long list and you haven't got around to doing it. So next up we have got, it's my favourite one that I can't pronounce. It's the Cassiope dress from IM Patterns. And if you haven't heard of them, they're a French pattern company, and they've just released a collection, and I think there's four in it, 4 of them. Yeah, I think there's 4 in the range. And this is great for winter. So and actually easy construction. Really cute dress. It's raglan sleeve, so much easier to insert than a normal sleeve. Gathered around the waist. It's a really relaxed fit, so you're not going to have trouble sort of fitting it. It's going to be easy to do. Yeah, I really like it. The only thing I would say, so if you have larger shoulders, a raglan tends not to look as nice on you. Because of the cut here, it actually is accentuating your shoulders. So I would recommend, if you have a larger shoulder, then this dress might not be quite right for you. But yeah, this pattern is great, and I love their style. They've got really, really interesting things. Everything's got sort of a nice little detail. But I think if you like this dress, I think this could be your staple, because you could whip them up in loads and loads of colours, and they look great in print or colour blocking. So I think this is another cracker. Up next we have got, oh good, it's another one I can't pronounce. Haute Vol from Vanessa Pouzet, which, I mean, can you tell my GCSE French is really coming out here? This was just released a couple of days ago, and I love it. I think it is such a nice top. Really interesting details, which are quite unusual to find on a top. I think quite often you see a top release and you're like, nah, not that bothered. But this one's great. So, in terms of, so it's got long sleeve, well, 3/4 length sleeves. It's got an opening at the back. So it opens up to just above your bra, and then it's got a zip down the back. It also has a little tie right at the top of your neck as well, so that it doesn't gape open. but the front bit I really like. So there's a seam just below your bust and it curves down, and there's little pleats for your bust, so that adds a bit of fullness in there and will help with fit. But I think that shape is really flattering. It actually slims you having a curve on the front of your bodice just below your bust. So I think it will be quite a flattering shape on most people. I just really like all the details. I think you can learn quite a lot from this top because you're putting in a zip. There's lots of little bits that I think you'd learn to do on your making journey for this one. So I definitely would recommend this. We have got next the, oh God, come on, just give me some English names so I can pronounce them. The Aldea dress from Pauline Alice. So this was released not very long ago, a couple of days ago, or maybe last week. It's a jersey dress, which is really nice. And what I love about Pauline Alice's patterns is that she always gives you quite a lot for your money. So there are lots of variations with this dress. So the version that I'm showing you on the screen, also guys, have you noticed that I've worked out the issue with the screen? So I'm going to put the patterns in this half and I'm going to be in this half. So they'll just stay there while I'm talking, and then you guys can like look at both of the pattern and me at the same time. Lucky you. So anyway, back to the dress. The one I'm showing you is the panelled version with a fuller skirt. So it's got princess seams that match, and then a seam at the waist, and then the seams like follow on into the skirt. So it's sort of panelled knitted skirt. It comes with sleeve options, so you can do long or short. But the other great thing is that she's done another version, so there's a V-neck option at the front, a sort of wrap, and like a pencil skirt. So again, there are like three variations in which you can mix and match. So you can really make lots and lots of dresses from this one pattern. So if you like the shape, and you know, I think you could make loads and loads. And again, there's options for colour blocking with this because there's all the seams. But yeah, I really like this, and I think it's quite a sort of classic. They're quite classic shapes, but I think you could make them your own. Yes. So next up, this is our last one. What am I going to say about this? I'm getting confused, sorry. So it's our last one, and this is a brand new pattern, and it is from Kokawawa. I can't, every time I practice saying this and I get it wrong. Kokawawa Crafts. So this is it's her first pattern ever, which is exciting, and we really like it. It's called the Marshmallow Dress, which we thought was a pretty cute name. It's quite a simple make. The shape is really nice. It's sort of trapeze shape, and it's got about 5 or 6 options of like making it different. You can have sleeves, you can have it without sleeves. It has a collar that you can have or not have, a little bow at the front. So there's lots of ways to sort of customize it and make it your own. But I think she's done a really good job. She sent us the pattern so we could have a look at it, and these instructions are really good, and it's all done really nicely. There's like really nice graphics in it, and yeah, I think it's a really nice shape. And if, like myself, you're feeling a little bit let's say the winter, I've been eating for winter, and I have definitely put on a little bit of weight recently, but this is great for that because I can eat as much as I like and no one will ever know. So it's quite a loose fit, and I think it's perfect actually for winter. It's great. It's just sort of like nice and cozy, and you could definitely it would look really nice with a long cardigan as well. So I definitely think this is one worth looking at. So that is my rundown of the sort of our favourites from this month, but I'm also going to put a link down below to a blog post because there are gazillions again this month. I think there must be about 30 30 new pattern releases, and I've only talked about 8 of them. So make sure you go and check that out. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed, and we shall be back again soon. Just a footnote, I think probably we are not going to do a pattern releases for December, because I think most people aren't releasing patterns. We'll see, but I think probably December there won't be one. Anyway, I hope everyone's well, and I'm now just going to go and prepare myself. Well, I will be getting ready for our kind of Christmas shindig, which is quite exciting. Yeah, I will see you again very soon. Bye!